right, so today we are going to be doing a diorama style scene in a frame. We were at a thrift store and we found this really awesome frame. It was originally white, but we painted it in a galaxy style sparkle, as you can clearly see. This bad boy looks really rad. And if you want to see how we made this awesome frame, then click on the video right here, because that is going to be how we did this frame. Now, moving on. The frame itself and why I bought the frame came with this totally dope bubble glass. So it's not like a normal flat glass, it's bubble. So you can actually put stuff in there, which is super cool. So I was like, oh my God, this is like totally an awesome thing. We can make a scene. So we painted the frame like galaxy style because we're doing a sci-fi theme. We're gonna do some Star Wars, the Dagobah. So all of this stuff you see here, with the exception of the little trees. I got those at a hobby shop, but they were only $3. Everything else here that you see, I got at Michael's. So I got one round circular styrofoam, and that's gonna go inside here, and then I'm going to glue the figures onto. And then he has a big tin of beaters wherever they went, and we picked out some just, you know, old beaters, nothing worth any money or anything. Just some little guys that we're gonna glue inside. And then for our like foliage, we're gonna use like average basic craft store moss. I don't know if you can really see that, but it's just like craft store moss. And these rad little guys that we can either cut into vines, or we can make them be trees, or whatever we feel like doing with these little guys. And randomly they came with some fuzzy moss. If we wanted to get super creative, all we needed some spray adhesive to use these guys. We need glue sticks, of course, a glue gun, and your background. Now the background paper came in a basic 12-inch by 12-inch square. We just traced it around the backing of the frame, and we picked like a sky scene, so just like a simple sky. And now we're ready to rock and roll. Okay, let's go. So what do you want to do first? Shall we adhere the backing to the thing?
Yes, but I was thinking, because it's the swamp of Dagobah, you know, there's of course not going to be any blue sky or blue water.
Not any blue water, no.
We could cut this in half, or like cut this to wherever the top of this is going to be, where we're going to put the figures. So this is swamp colored brown.
Oh, you want to adhesive that, the sprinkle? Good idea. Do you have some spray adhesive?
Let's see if I do.
All right. One memento while Josh goes and sees if he's got some spray adhesive. All right, so turns out no, we did not have any spray adhesive, but that's okay because we can use a glue stick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue stick this background to the backing of the frame, and then we will glue stick adhere the little platform, and then underneath the platform we'll do.
Before.
You want to do that before?
No. Before you start gluing anything down, just want to make sure, because this is the top of the panel. Just make sure that it fits in right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just want to make sure it's
looking good. You want to do that side or this side? I think it'd be smart. Okay, so now that we've decided where we're going to put our mossy ground kind of area, we are going to cut the sky part off to give us kind of like a template of where we're going to put the mossy stuff. And luckily, this piece that we're using as the backing came with an earth tone kind of fuzzy backing, so that way, like, you know, where the moss is going to go, it'll kind of look more natural. It'll work with it a little better.
I can feel it. I feel you. I feel you.
What are you talking about? This is a weirdo. Tell me do what?
It's not straight. It's not straight.
I can't see it adequately because I'm not directly over it, so I don't know if it's straight or not from an angle. Look at that. That looks perfect. Okay, let me glue this bitch back on. Okay, glue. Okay, so we're gonna scoot her up a little bit. Give us some space. This bitch just loves space.
Fantastic.
All right, so now that we have our sky on, we are going to move on to the next step, which would be our ground. So we can either start with the moss first, we can start with the panel first.
Let's start with the panel.
All right, we'll grab the glue gun, baby. Thank you. Now I'm going to use quite a bit of glue because of this one reason. It's not a smooth surface, so I'm going to have to, like, you know, put a crap load on there. All right, I'll just hold this here until it dries. All right, so I was wondering, like, or I wasn't wondering, but I was like, it looks uneven. So I was trying to get a point of reference on what the even would be, and the bubble helped me find the top. The bubble helped me find the top.
Like, I would even go so far as to go ahead and, since we know that that's where we want the floor at.
Mm-hmm. You want to put
take
some more
the
glue
gun.
underneath?
Yeah.
She's a stringy gal. Okay. So what I did is I went ahead and made a reinforcement kind of glue on the back end right here. So that way it gives a little more support, as you would say. Do you want to put some on the top to keep it?
Yeah.
I mean, might as
More
well. We're
there.
going to cover it.
Yeah, it's gonna get.
I'm more nervous than O.J. Simpson in 1997. Okay, let's see. Okay, just went ahead and reinforced our little platform here. Now, it's not that our beaters are very heavy, but hey, there's nothing wrong with a little extra reinforcement. Now we're going to sprinkle some of this moss on there just to give it more of a lifelike vibe.
It's more like a sheet.
Oh, is it a sheet?
It's like a sheet than it is a.
Open that bad boy up. Oh, okay. We could cover this whole thing if you want.
Yeah.
Like a blanket. We didn't know this thing was a sheet, so now I'm just going to glue it down. You feel comfortable. It's all you. I'm gonna dust pour Yoda off because he got all mossy. He got super mossy. Okay, now to adhere our characters and whatever ones you choose, we've chosen, of course, Star Wars characters. We're gonna use some hot glue on their feet and then press them to the bottom of the platform. Now, because that R2 is the most busted, I say we put Yoda in front of the R2. Like, you know?
So.
Like Yoda in front and Luke and R2 behind. Yeah, like that kind of. Yeah.
Like them to one side.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Alright, this one might be. I'm gonna put a little glue on his ass.
Why?
So that his legs don't swivel. So then he's like in the frame bending over. Help him stand straight.
Oh, okay. I was kind of confused. It's like, so he's
Because
bending
he's-
over? Is he
because-
getting rammed by Yoda?
Because he's such a loose beater figure.
I hear what you're saying.
Gotta make sure it's.
Now, mind you, you can put as much glue as you want on these feet because they're going to get covered by moss. So if you see a little bit of glue, like, fluff out the sides of the feet, that's totally okay because you're going to cover it. Okay, now I'm going to hold this like this, let them set for a couple seconds and let that glue dry. Alright, so now what we're going to do is that we've clipped our little tree pieces that we got from the hobby shop into the spots that we want to do. We're going to use them as little background bushes. We're going to use them as like little tree overhangs. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the ones that we have already done, and we are going to attach them to the base. All right, so go ahead and lay her down. And what I'm doing is this tweezer's end is actually the same width that we need to make for the frame to pop on. And that's my dog. And she's mentally challenged, so bless her heart. All right, so now that we've got our branches and trees and bushes in, now what we're gonna do is give it a little mossy effect. We're gonna fill the bottom half with the moss and like give some moss up top, because of course it's supposed to look swampy. Now, did you want to do the blanket on the back?
Well,
I don't think we can now.
Yeah, well, I don't think we even need to.
Plus, we can do it with this, like, you know, the exact same vibe you were thinking we could do with this. So I'm just gonna grab a big handful out, because we don't need this whole bag, that's for damn sure. We won't need this much, that's for damn sure. I'm just gonna kind of separate it a bit. And we literally don't have to glue this in unless you just really, really want to. Because I'm just gonna pop the bubble on top, and that'll hold it on its own. Now the top part we'll have to glue, but we won't need to glue the bottom part. This stuff likes to grab everything, holy cow. And if you really want to get super creative with it, you can literally go into your yard and get some sticks, you can get some leaves, you can get any of that stuff. Alright, so the bottom half is pretty much done. I'm going to take this strip off just so I know that it's going to be that strip. I'm going to look at the base and be like, hey, do I want to put anything on this base?
That's pretty good.
I don't want any white to shine through, so I'm going to put a little bitty bit of moss, like just in the base area. Thank you, baby!
No problem, baby.
And just in my suggestion, use low temperature glue for this because you're going to get it on your hands. Like, I've gotten glue on my hands, I don't know, like there's a big chunk right here on the middle finger that I just got on there, and it didn't make me want to, you know, cry myself to sleep. And the last time we used glue guns, we used high temperature glue, and it was real bad. I ended up with, like, I couldn't go to work the next day. I had like blisters all over my hands. It was a derned situation. It was bad.
It was not warm.
No, it was not. It's all about disguising your structure. Okay, now we're gonna stand him up and maybe take a couple like little tiny bits that I might cut with scissors to put on the base. I'm gonna cradle her like a baby. Alright, and this is the little padding thing that came in the back of the frame. So I'm going to put it back there. And now we are going to attach the bubble and see how it looks. I will let Josh go through with some scissors and trim off that excess. Okay, now grab the frame and then make sure the metal parts are open. All right, this looks killer. So I'm gonna kind of hit this to let this fall down because there's like some moss fall out. And that's what we've got. And it looks amazing. Check it out. Let's put pictures up.